about 20 or 30 of us, were just on a Saturday afternoon, like, hey, let's go do a bar crawl in Midtown ourselves. But a lot of us were in hospitality, so I said, I'm going to call the restaurants in advance, just let them know, hey, there's 30 people that are going to be coming in your door, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Surprise, but, maybe be prepared. And so we did, and one of the GMs of the restaurant came out, was like, hey, thanks for the, mid-afternoon bump to sales. This is great. Who are you with? I'm like, we're just
a group of friends.
We're just 30 friends with nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Hanging out.
And on that day, we were finishing out the crawl, went to GoDaddy and bought AtlantaBarCrawls.com.
Welcome back to Brew Talks. I'm Steve Stroud, President and CEO of Roswell Inc.
And I'm Ashley Allen, VP of Operations and Economic Development. First, I'd like to thank our sponsor today, Wellstar North Fulton Hospital, for investing in this podcast. And then I'd like to introduce our guest, Andy Zirger with Bar Crawl USA. Thanks for being with us today, Andy.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Exciting things happening with the bar crawl.
Absolutely. It's a fun way to kick off the week here.
Well, tell me about the connection. I thought you started in Roswell, but I think it was a Roswell connection that got you to Roswell, right?
Correct, yeah. So started Bar Crawl USA 10 years ago, and actually, if I may go back, we started Atlanta Bar Crawls 12 years ago, but then transitioned to Bar Crawl USA because we're now in more cities and more states than just Atlanta. But my connection is Ted Basco. We worked together in hotels.
Tabasco
at the Westin Buckhead.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in ops. He was in sales. I begged him every week, please get me down to sales. Please get me down to sales. He did. And then I was always doing this on the side, and then kind of exploded. It was a passion to do events. And so for the last 8 years, I've been doing it full time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and tell me a little bit about the origin story of Bar Crawl, because I think you've told me this before. It was like it started with friends,
Yeah.
and then it just kind of organically grew into this big, multi-metro city thing.
Yeah, so about 20 or 30 of us, were just on a Saturday afternoon, like, hey, let's go do a bar crawl in Midtown ourselves. But a lot of us were in hospitality, so I said, I'm going to call the restaurants in advance, just let them know, hey, there's 30 people that are going to be coming in your door, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Surprise, but, maybe be prepared. And so we did, and one of the GMs of the restaurant came out, was like, hey, thanks for the, mid-afternoon bump to sales. This is great. Who are you with? I'm like, we're just
a group of friends.
We're just
30 friends with nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon.
Hanging out.
And on that day, we were finishing out the crawl, went to GoDaddy and bought AtlantaBarCrawls.com on the crawl.
That's awesome.
On the crawl.
On the crawl.
On the
that
crawl.
was 2010.
2010.
Wow.
2010. And then 2 months later, we did our first paid buy a ticket come out, and it was the Peachtree Street bar crawl. And we did a beach
Peachtree.
theme on Peachtree Street. So everyone got laid. They got a Hawaiian lay. And they wore Hawaiian
fun.
shirts, and you dressed as you're going to the beach. And we did the Peachtree Street bar crawl down Peachtree Street in 2014.
Now, were they started out, were they all walkable, or did you
Yeah,
actually
so that was the one thing we always wanted to do, is we wanted to start with the registration party, start everyone together. So the reason why we started this is, I attended a bunch of events in my younger days. Some were organized, some were not. We thought there would be a better way to organize people in hey, you're new to the city, or maybe you're newly single, or you want to check out new bars, but you don't want to just check in, get a wristband, and then just told, like, go. Like, just
Right.
explore, good luck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were one that was like, hey, we want to start with the registration party. So we all started together, and then it's all walkable until we ended with our after party. So when we started, it was always 5 bars. Start with 1 bar.
5 bars.
And then second, third, fourth, and then the 5th was your after party, last stop.
Fun.
And that's how it all started. And we kind of grew from there, adding in different themes, different events, different cities, different bars. So people could come out every month or every couple months, and we'd be in the Highlands, or we'd be in Midtown, or be in Buckhead. So we're always able to check out new bars, new parts of town, new people. And then I think my friends were just following me on social. I'm like, what are you doing here? And so I think Roswell could like something like this. I think, Cleveland, Ohio could like something like this. Portland, Maine. So we're in 20 different cities now.
20 cities.
Wow.
20 cities,
What
14
was-
states.
Sorry, what was your first out-of-state location?
So I'm originally from Ohio.
Okay.
So, but I've been in Atlanta for 15 years. So this is home. Was Cleveland, Ohio. So out of state,
Fantastic.
up in Cleveland, had a bunch of buddies, gave me the intel of where would be the best place to do the event. Went up there, met with the restaurants, and said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do." And we still do it. We have our 9th annuals up there now. So
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, are most of them during the day though? Like that's what I think. That's another trick, right?
So that's our other trick. One, I don't want to be out till midnight, 2 in the morning
No,
anymore.
no,
And
no.
people we talk to, people on our age demographic, don't want to be out that late anymore.
Even when I was younger, I didn't want to be out.
Yeah, but you had to, right?
You did. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. So my wife is from a restaurant, and she does this as well, Caroline. So she came from the restaurant, I came from the hotel side, and we were like, let's make it a win-win-win for everybody. A win for us as the company, but win for the attendees and a win for
Right.
the bars. But like anyone can sell a ticket at 11 o'clock at night to a busy bar on
Right.
a Friday, Saturday night.
Right.
But we want the bars to have like a double Saturday. So we do like the ghost period or the in-between lunch and dinners or in between dinners and nightlife, depending on what segment. So when we do a lot of our Roswell events, it's 1 to 6. So the bars can have their lunch brunch rush,
Yep.
and then they get us from like 2 to 6, and then we're gone.
Makes
and then they get their
total
dinner
sense.
nightlife rush. So we fill that void, and that's how we do it in all of our cities. And
Yeah.
plus daytime, you can go have a couple of cocktails, a couple of drinks, and still go home and relieve the babysitter or
Sure.
just be in bed by 9 o'clock.
Well,
So,
that's one of the reasons. I mean, you've partnered with us with Summer Sippin'.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a natural because the whole purpose is to ring the cash register.
Yep.
And help the industry in a slower time, which
Yep.
typically for Roswell, North Fulton, is the summer because people go on vacation and they go to their mountain house and they go to their beach house and they don't come back. And so given that bump on a Saturday or a Sunday in those time frames really makes a big difference. So, yeah, we appreciate the partnership, and you've seen numbers in Roswell grow.
the summer will be our 4th annual summer sipping cocktail crawl. So
Yeah, I was going to say, give
Yeah.
us a little preview because I know we already have a
Yeah.
lot of the locations. We've got a date picked out and everything. So for anyone who is interested in attending that event this year, what are some of the details?
Yeah. So, when people think bar crawl, they think, let's just say they think young people like Bud Light and Fireball shots. Well,
Right.
that's not, again, it's not what we're after in the middle of the afternoon.
Right.
Not my, not even my demographic. That's not what I want to do. So why would I want to promote that
Right.
or run that type of event? So what our events do, actually, I do have like our lanyard here. So everyone checks in, and instead of a wristband, you get a Bar Crawl USA lanyard.
Oh, yeah, that's
There
right.
will be the printed specials from every bar that's participating in the Summer Sipping Crawl.
Yep.
But the one thing that we offer is at the bottom, you see these little tearaway tabs, and that's called your cocktail tokens. So each bar is doing a 5-ounce cocktail sample of their summer sipping drink. So your ticket will include 5-ounce samples.
Nice.
So these drinks range like $15 a drink.
Right.
And if you would just go on a Tuesday and get a drink. So if you're getting 5-ounce samples, that's 2.5 drinks. Do some quick math, that's a $50 value for a $30, $25, $30 ticket.
Right.
Plus you're getting to sample at least 5. And then once you run out of your free samples, we've negotiated with each bar, are going to do $5 5-ounce samples. So you can still
Keep on.
continue to sample and not, overdo it.
Right.
Because, if you have 10 samples.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, as my buddy
Exact-
Bucky
thank
Cook
you.
used to say.
Yeah. And these are good drinks. They're actually great drinks. The ingredients that are in
Oh,
here
yeah.
are great
They're
drinks. So-
competing, right?
Yeah, they're competing for
Yeah.
the best summer
Sip in
sipping
Roswell, yeah.
in Roswell. So in addition to that, if you are like, I just tried this 5-ounce drink, this is the best thing I've ever had, they're doing the full cocktail for $10, which is about $4 to $5 off of what it is normally if you were to just walk in there not on the event. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so people have asked us for years because this is our 10th summer sippin',
10th.
which is great.
That's
So
awesome.
big anniversary for us. But people have asked us for years if summer sippin' was like a one-day event. And before we started partnering on the crawl, we had it, no, it's a promotional event. At one point it was even 90 days long. Now we've actually shortened it down to 60 days. But being able to have this like one singular event that people can really go out and experience a lot of the restaurants at once. And then still, we want you to come out all summer and try a drink here and there. But I think people were looking for that like summer
Tie-in.
event to go to.
Yeah.
Also, this year we're doing it earlier than we've ever done it. So remember the date, the 28th?
June 28th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is really kind of a kickoff to the event, which we've never done before. So I think it'll be really, really fun. And to your point, it's not only a good deal for the people who are going, because you're getting a great price on the drinks. You're also getting all the event experience.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention the 12 participating restaurants. Most do entertainment, so you're not even talking about that. We have a videographer, photographer out there to catch you and your group's pictures,
social
anything
media
like that.
activity.
Social media. So it's as I mentioned in the very first, it's a win-win-win. So the people that are coming out are not only supporting the bars, but they're getting a huge value.
That's right.
The bars are getting to showcase their best summer sipping drink. We do a vote at the end for the best summer sipping cocktail. Right. I mean, I know you do one for all of 60 plus, but just for the event that can
just
be
for that
considered.
day,
for y'all,
for
yeah,
fun.
which is great.
So, that doesn't mean that you win all of summer sipping because that's
Right.
your event, but just for that day, the 12 within that walking distance get to compete for something. And then for the restaurants themselves, people obviously get hungry. You can't go 1 to 6 and drink without eating.
Right.
So people are going to pop in and get a bite, get a light bite here, a light bite there, a snack here, a taco there. And then at 6 o'clock, I would say half the people don't go home because
That's what
they're
I was
having
saying.
too
I'm
much
sure
fun.
some of these people just stay
So,
for dinner, right?
it is Saturday.
I mean,
So you're on
Yeah.
Canton Street on a Saturday at 6.
How
The
good does
vibes
that
are
get?
feeling great. The summer cocktails are going through the veins. You're probably going to stay up for,
Couple
catching
more hours.
live music at Gate City or catching
Mm-hmm.
entertainment at Rock and Taco or something, or catching dinner at one of the great restaurants on
And
Canton.
we find majority of the people are coming as visitors into the city of Roswell for the bar crawl. Don't you see that?
I think we're able, because we do events all over the city, Atlanta,
That's cool.
Roswell, all surrounding, that we can tap into that market to bring fresh faces.
Yeah, because
onto Canton
last year
Street.
you had, a couple hundred folks participate? Or a little more, 3?
We did. We've had anywhere between 250 to 400.
Wow.
And the only reason it was 250 is I think it was late July and it was
We
so
picked
hot.
a hot
it was
Yeah,
weekend
it was
a
hot.
couple
I
years
remember
ago.
that.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, you definitely needed drinks to cool
Ooh,
off. Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
hot that day. I do remember.
So I think the June date will help with the heat. But yeah, you'll join anywhere from 200 to 400 people on Canton that afternoon.
That's
amazing.
awesome. And it just shows that events like Summer Sippin' and then adding our partnership on this really are a driver for the economy, because we're bringing people in that would go spend their money
Somewhere else, yeah.
if it weren't for these promotions. So I think that that's just really cool. That it's not just a cool event for the locals, but it really is spotlighting the food and beverage destination that Roswell has become.
Well, and you've seen so many new restaurants open over the years, and there's more coming, right? Which just
I've
adds
seen it,
to the flavor, and it keeps people on the street. As we talk about all the time, back in April, we were averaging 131 minutes as an average stay on the street. Well, if that's the average, guess what? And then you add the fact that 85% of those folks are coming from outside of our zip codes in Roswell.
Mm-hmm.
Those are pretty strong numbers
For sure.
for the Canton Street area and for people to just come to Roswell. So,
And so in case people aren't familiar, you do a lot of other crawls up here in Roswell other than just Summer Sippin'. As you said, you do the taco and tequila, but you do a couple of others as well that are really popular. So just so people are aware that that's all you, which ones
So
do you do in Roswell?
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. So we do your popular Halloween one, our ugly sweater, which is in December.
right.
You bring out the ugly sweater.
yep, we've seen that on Canton Street.
And we still stick to our principles of starting with the registration party. So what we love about this is we start on the north end. So we're at North End Kitchen with our registration. And they'll put a DJ and have us outside, and then we crawl down Canton until we make it to our after party down at Rock and Taco. So
That's awesome.
and there's 10 to 12 restaurants in between. But after the ugly sweater in December, we roll into St. Patrick's Day. So we do one there.
Yep.
And then we have our taco and tequila, which is a spring one, not necessarily related to Cinco. So we'll do it in April to kick off spring, because who doesn't want tacos, tequila, margaritas? And then the same concept, instead of 5 cocktail samples, you get 5 tacos.
Oh, love that.
And then we roll into the summer where we partner with you guys, which has been an awesome
Yeah, we were
partnership.
able to help close that loop with Summer Sippin' so that
So
it's
close the
year-round
loop on
fall
Summer
That's
calls
right.
up here.
Because if not, we would be October to spring. We
That's
would just
fantastic.
we would miss that summer. So
So tell us, what's our kickoff date for Summer Sippin'? It's coming.
Yep, coming up June 18th. It's the Tuesday before Alive in Roswell is when it officially starts. But, getting everybody prepared for a big night out during Alive. that third Thursday in June. So we're excited, and it goes until the Tuesday before the August Alive, which I believe is August 20th, if I'm not mistaken. And we will announce the winners live at Alive in Roswell. So we always narrow it down to the top 3 in the non-alcoholic category, top 5 in the alcohol category, get everyone to come out, and then we announce those winners live, which has been a really, really fun tradition that we started. So.
And the crawl is the 28th of June?
Yeah.
That's correct.
1 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
1 o'clock to 6 o'clock, but you do not have to go home at 6. You could just
Yeah,
me the
please
Hang out.
stay. We've got
Add to that 131 minutes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, 25, 30 restaurants for you to go pick from on Canton Street. So.
Yeah. So, well, I appreciate you guys having me on, and
we appreciate what you're doing. We
showcase,
appreciate you bringing visitors to Roswell and just increasing the visibility and, again, having the cash register ring for these restaurants and bars. So we appreciate you.
Yeah.
And before we let you go, Andy, how do people check out the upcoming crawls? How do they follow you on social media?
Thank you. Yeah. So Bar Crawl USA is our company name. That's barcrawlusa.com. Bar Crawl USA on Facebook and Instagram. On our website, you'll see Roswell Summer Sippin'. Boom.
Yeah.
Click it. Buy tickets directly there.
That's awesome.
It's pretty simple. If you have any other questions, you can reach me, which at any of those social outlets, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
That's
Perfect.
awesome. Thanks for being on here. And as we always say, it's a great day to do business in Roswell. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andy.